tweeting. I'm tweeting on Elon's Twitter. Go look and see what I tweeted at Kennedy Nation is just for you. Gas prices have hit an all-time high again, $4.86 a gallon in the U.S. That's more than double when President Biden took office. So what is the administration doing to help? Instead of decreasing domestic oil production, the president reportedly planning a trip to Saudi Arabia to beg them to open their spigots. Back here at home today, he invoked the Defense Production Act to accelerate clean energy manufacturing, which he hopes will transition the U.S. off fossil fuels. Yeah, that's going to happen in a year. So how high will gas prices get while President Biden is chasing windmills? Joining me now, energy expert and Power the Future Executive Director, Daniel Turner. Welcome back, Daniel.
Thank you for having me, Kennedy. Great to be here.
So if the president isn't going to Saudi Arabia on bended knee, begging the kingdom for dirty gas, he's blaming Putin. So if you're blaming Putin, you don't have to do anything. You certainly don't have to acknowledge your failures on energy policy.
Yeah, he doesn't have to acknowledge that. He has implemented a myriad regulations, punishment of the investors in the fossil fuel industry. Land access has been denied, right? So this is a cause and effect. He put in lots of different causes. He doesn't want to deal with the effect. But going to Saudi Arabia is interesting because it does acknowledge that we need a supply increase, right? He recognizes that the only way to lower prices is to increase the amount of oil in the global market. But why do the Saudis get to drill more for $120 a barrel and not Alaska or New Mexico or America? You'll see he never says anything about increasing American production. He'll say things like, I'm going to lower gas prices, or but he never once talks about increasing oil production in America because the Greens won't allow him to do that.
Or talks about, increasing oil refinery, because that's another aspect that he has shut down. And, this is one area where you have to give him credit for being honest, because he basically claimed during the campaign in 2020 that he was going to shut down the fossil fuel industry. And, in order to appease the Greens, they have said that they are at war with them. And, they don't like the industry. Everyone else can learn to code. They can build windmills. And so we've been sold this dream, and part of me wants that dream to be realized. I want us to have clean, plentiful energy sources, but right now, isn't green energy just as dirty as the traditional fossil fuels?
Well, I think that's one of the great lies the Green lobby has convinced the American people and most members of Congress. One, they've convinced them that fossil fuels are inherently bad or inherently dirty, and that's just a falsehood. Secondly, they've convinced people that if we just have wind and solar, we don't need fossil fuels, and we ignore the literally millions of products that are made from fossil fuels. Look at what's happening with food prices and how that's related to fertilizers and nitrates, which are a byproduct of natural gas, right? Look at plastics, and even the price of wind and solar themselves have gone up because they're made from fossil fuels.
Yes, and if your energy grid is fueling your solar panels, guess what's fueling the energy grid? Fossil fuels. So, yeah, we are not there yet. They have not admitted that the ramp to energy independence that is mostly green takes a lot longer than what we've got. But we need a pipeline, even if it is with oil that has to be refined at some point. Open more refineries, allow more leases. And is the president being disingenuous? And he's like, I've offered 70% more leases, and the companies, they don't want it.
Yeah, that's just total disingenuous. The Obama administration played these same games with us, with the industry, and with the American people. Leases are the very first step in a very long and lengthy and very regulated process in bringing oil to market. Ask anyone who's tried to put a deck on their house how much government permitting you need, right? It would so that you have access to the land does not mean you have access to drill, extract, bring to market, et cetera. So it's, the Biden administration is right. There is not a lot of investment in this industry right now because it's a terrible investment, because the industry knows the Biden administration is going to come after them, punish them every step of the way. Yeah. So sadly, there's not investment because why bother?
No, and as you pointed out, they're not looking for endangered species when they build solar or wind farms. They could be disrupting, as you put it, short-haired ferrets, and that would be very sad. But God forbid someone wants to drill for that black gold. They're shut down and branded a pariah. Daniel Turner, good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.